Diddy's lawyers have just filed a motion claiming that Diddy didn't have the mental capacity to commit the crimes that he is being accused of. Usher is getting ready to testify against this and is reportedly going to be subpoenaed to appear in the upcoming trial. This proves that after Cassie, more high-profile celebrities are going to testify in Diddy's trial. Not only that, but the judge has also denied Diddy's request to delay the trial, and an essential piece of evidence is now being investigated, all of which could bring Diddy down to his knees. There's a lot to discuss, so let's break it down.
Diddy's defense, what he's saying is that his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was wasted is part of why he's saying, he should not be charged in these crimes. He even has a doctor who is lined up to testify. Now, prosecutors have filed their opposition to this line of testimony. Basically, they're saying he has a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. So I don't know what he's trying to pull here.
Right. But which crime is he saying he did?
I guess what he's saying is the effects of the drugs and alcohol on his memory and cognitive function. They're saying his defense is trying to say because of that, he shouldn't be held liable for what happened. So I don't know. This should be interesting to see how this plays out. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert that says that video was basically altered. That's what Diddy
Which
was
video?
into.
The Cassie
With
video?
Cassie, yes. Yes. So the trial starts, by the way, in just a week. So
According to Diddy's defense, what he's saying is that his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was wasted is part of why he's saying, he should not be charged in these crimes. He even has a doctor who is lined up to testify. Now, prosecutors have filed their opposition to this line of testimony. Basically, they're saying he has a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt, so I don't know what he's trying to pull, right? But which crime is he saying he did it? I guess what he's saying is the effects of the drugs and alcohol on his memory and cognitive function, they're saying his defense is trying to say, because of that, he shouldn't be held liable for what happened. So I don't know. This should be interesting to see how this plays out. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert that says that video was basically altered. That's what? Which video? The Cass with Cassie. Yes. So the trial starts, by the way, in just a week. So we're getting ready for that to happen. Diddy's lawyers have realized that there's no way they can stop Diddy from going to jail now, so they're now trying to say that Diddy was too drunk to know that what he was doing was wrong. According to court documents, a motion was filed by Diddy's attorneys on Sunday, April 27th, claiming that due to the effects of drugs and alcohol, Diddy's mental capacity was diminished. If this motion is accepted, Diddy would basically get away with everything.
Character will be impugned. They will attack the victims for not coming forward until Cassie Ventura came forward. How do you fix that? You find an outcry witness. What is an outcry witness? An outcry witness is someone the victim told about their at the time. So 10 years ago, I told you Sean Combs raped me at this party. I told you that then, but I never made a police report. That adds credence, credibility to the victim's statement. So a lot of victims are going to be attacked because they continued in a seemingly friendly relationship with Combs. A lot of women do that. Your boss makes advances on you unwanted. What do? Quit and starve? There's a lot of reasons women maintain a relationship with the rapist. So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these ladies and choose to believe Sean Combs.
So it looks like they're going to try and say that Diddy's mental capacity could not make it possible for him to commit these crimes, claiming that maybe drugs or alcohol could have been at fault. Apparently, a couple of weeks ago, the prosecution offered Diddy a plea deal, which he turned down. We don't know the details of what that plea deal entailed, but he said he's not taking it. This is coming after they've added additional charges, like the second superseding indictment. You know that Cassie video where you see Diddy dragging her in a hotel from 2016? The judge says that it can be included after Diddy's defense team had been trying to have it not included. So according to People magazine, they said prosecutors recently filed a motion disputing any testimony that might show that Sean Diddy Combs didn't have, quote, the mental capacity to commit the crimes he's accused of because of the effects of drugs or alcohol. The motion filed on April 27th references apparent testimony from a psychiatrist on behalf of the defense and asked the judge to prevent his testimony.
The motion came after 4 failed motions to suppress evidence or get rid of expert testimonies. Diddy's lawyers claimed that all of the freak-off tapes and baby oil recovered from Diddy's mansion were taken illegally, and the search warrants weren't obtained legally. They wanted all of these tapes to be considered inadmissible. Judge Aaron Subramanian, however, declared all evidence that had been submitted as admissible, and now there's a good chance the freak-off tapes are going to be played in public.
Sean Diddy Combs looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced, as prosecutors allege. This latest challenge to his case comes 3 months before trial, and as Combs loses one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico says under no circumstances can he continue to represent Combs. He offered no details about that decision.
Aaron, to make matters worse, Diddy's motion to get the tape of him beating Cassie removed from evidence has also been denied, first posted by CNN. The video footage showed Diddy violently beating Cassandra Ventura and then dragging her by the hair. Diddy's lawyers have tried multiple times to get this video removed from evidence, and they are now saying that this footage has been edited to make Diddy look worse. They say that the original tape is over 30 minutes long, and editing it to make it shorter makes it inadmissible.
Wants that video or videos excluded from trial, and for that, we turn to his motion in limine to exclude video footage of that March 5th, 2016 incident. Motion in limine is a pretrial motion that aims at preventing evidence from coming into trial or limiting it in some way. And it starts by saying, quote, "There is no longer any dispute that the CNN footage from March 5th, 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel offered by the government at 3 separate bail hearings is wholly inaccurate, having been altered, manipulated, sped up, and edited to be out of sequence. As indicated below, CNN paid Redacted, don't know who this person is, Redacted, for footage, copied that footage in unknown ways, presented that footage out of order, and destroyed the original. Accordingly, all the footage from CNN is inaccurate and inadmissible. As for the 2 items of footage filmed by an iPhone 6, those pieces of footage are inaccurate and inadmissible as well for the reasons set out below." Now
Let's talk about the showdown in the courtroom over the bombshell video allegedly showing Sean Diddy Combs beating his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Now, Diddy's lawyers are arguing to exclude the footage from the rapper's upcoming sex trafficking trial. Legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joins us now with more on what this could mean for the high-profile case. So good to have you. Okay, so they want this video left out. What's their argument for this?
So Mark Agnifilo, Sean Combs' attorney, is arguing that, you probably hear this phrase, this is not a true and accurate representation of what the video depicts. He's saying a number of arguments that the CNN had taken this video and sped it up. They kind of chopped it up into this montage, and it's not accurate. He's also making the allegation that the original video no longer exists. And so because this isn't accurate, the jury shouldn't see it. And according to Diddy's attorneys, because the original doesn't exist or it's been tampered with, no video such as this should be presented to the jury.
So what does CNN say about these claims?
So CNN has come out and said, we did not alter it. We did not change anything. And in fact, they're saying that they do have the original as well. So on multiple levels, Sean Combs' argument kind of falls flat, because if it is sped up, and I think there is some degree of it's being sped up, if the original still exists, that can still be used as evidence against Sean Combs, not necessarily to the allegations of trafficking, RICO conspiracy, or the transportational purpose of prostitution, but to show that this is a force that it was used to keep victim number 1, who we believe to be Cassie in this video, under his control.
As we peel back the layers of this case, we see that the total number of victims could very well be in the thousands.
The allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and alleged co-conspirators around the world. And some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. Basically meaning, how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants...
This is the real reason that Diddy's lawyers quit. They realized that there was no way to win this trial, and they weren't willing to go down with Diddy in such a high-profile abuse case. The law firm Diddy has been with Grubman, Shire, Misselos, and Sachs for over 20 years has also dropped him. As a client, Diddy's lawyers saw the evidence and knew right away that Diddy was going to end up behind bars.
Diddy Combs' legal team is getting a little smaller. As the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges, his attorney, Anthony Rico, respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Misselos, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was...
Attorneys are now trying to delay the inevitable by postponing the trial after 3 more victims and 2 new charges were added in a 3rd superseding indictment. Did's lawyers now claim that they need 2 more months to prepare for the trial.
The trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, a judge has denied his request to delay the proceedings, and that means jury selection could start in just weeks. ABC's Phil Lipoff is tracking this case. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. It looks like it's going to. Sean Combs' trial date is set to go on as expected Friday. A judge ruled Combs' criminal sex trafficking trial will begin next month as scheduled after he denied the defense's request for a 2-month adjournment. The trial is set to begin May 5th with jury selection. The judge said it was unclear why there isn't sufficient time to prepare, especially since 4 different law firms are now representing him. The judge agreed, however, to allow alleged victims to testify under pseudonyms, but one star witness, Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, is expected to testify under her own name. She filed, you'll remember, a quickly settled civil lawsuit against Combs. The judge agreed with a defense request to receive outtakes of interviews conducted for a documentary produced by Warner Brothers. Those interviews were conducted with potential trial witnesses. Combs appeared in Jailhouse Beige on Friday and was given a moment at the end of the hearing to communicate with his mother and one of his sons. He told them, "I love you and we're good." He has pleaded, we should mention, not guilty to all 5 federal counts and maintained his innocence in the civil suit.
Interestingly, a plea deal was offered to Diddy by the feds. The details of what was offered haven't been made public, but the fact that this deal was offered by the feds rather than the prosecutors means that there's a good chance Diddy was asked to snitch on someone he worked with. This person is most likely another record company executive, and I'm sure we can all guess who that is.
Caitlin, let's start with you. What happened, or what has happened in court today?
It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time. I could not see a world where he would accept any kind of plea deal. So we heard that today. The other big takeaway from court, and we are in crunch time now, just less than 2 weeks before this is going to start and go to trial. The now infamous video of Diddy and Cassie in that hotel room where he is seen allegedly attacking her will be played in court for jurors. Now, the original video, the original surveillance doesn't exist anymore. So we have a copy that was obtained by CNN. Obtained by CNN, yes. And it was taken by a cell phone video. So you're going to have the person who took the video testifying in court and independent people there that are going to authenticate it. But the jury is going to see that. The other types of evidence that they're going to see